Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host and coach S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer to your tech and career related queries. If you like my answers, then please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So without further ado, let's get started with today's questions. So today's first question is asked by Priyanka Singh. She is asking, the technology is changing but the college courses cannot be upgraded so fast. What do you suggest a computer engineer to learn to get the right job? Priyanka, I completely agree with you. Even I have mentioned this in one of my answers also, that technology is changing regularly but college curriculum is not. However, what colleges teach haven't been changed since last 5, 10, 20 years, which are basic concepts like operating system, what is operating system, how does operating system work, or if you talk about networking, then what are the various protocols. These things haven't changed. Even when we talk about programming, in programming also colleges teach you the languages and the basics concept which are common throughout all the languages. So if you know that how for loop works, how if and else work, what are conditional statements, how to implement data structure and algorithms in one language, then you can implement that in the other language also. It's just the matter of learning the syntax. So my suggestion for a computer engineer would be to first of all thoroughly go through what is being taught in the college. So when they are taught data structure and algorithms, they should learn thoroughly how to implement data structure and algorithms. When they are taught DBMS or database management system, they should learn about what are DBMS, what are the 12 core rules of DBMS, how DBMS works, and etc. etc. Because most of the time when companies hire freshers, they anyway train them on the technologies to which they work. And they don't have larger expectations from the college students that they should know this and that. Their expectation is pretty common, that they should be exposed to what is happening in the industry, which you can learn by visiting various blogs or following correct people on Twitter like me, or you can learn that via YouTube also. However, your first consideration or your first concentration should be on the topics of which is being taught in your college. That is basics of what programming is, what databases is, how does things works. So if you are good in that, you will be able to learn everything and anything which is there in the market pretty easily. So once again I am repeating myself that my suggestion for you would be to follow what is being taught in the college and follow it thoroughly. Next question is from Madhusudan Nirudi. He is asking, I am working as an assistant professor in computer science. I want to shift my career to software. What are the possibilities to get a job as I am 39-year-old? Madhusudan, I won't suggest you to join IT industry as a developer because you are already aged and your experience will not be counted here. So my suggestion for you would be to go into the line of corporate training. So either you can create YouTube videos or training videos on various platforms like Udemy, Coursera or any other platform, even like Pluralsight is also there. So you can create video courses on various technologies according to your expertise, or you can join as a corporate trainer, plan training plans for various corporates. So you can apply for those kind of jobs in the industry, because those are the places where your experience will matter and it will be considered, but your experience will not be considered as a developer since you are an assistant professor or a teacher. So my suggestion would be for you would be to go for training line. So either go as a trainer or corporate trainer or a training planner or create your Udemy courses. Next question is from Sundaram Pandey. He is asking, why do we need references and experience to get jobs? Why not our ability and qualifications first? Sundaram, in the current world of fake degrees and fake qualifications, how does an HR or a company know that your qualifications are correct or not? Or how does they judge your ability? So references and experience are a way to verify that what you are saying in your resume are correct or not. Not only that, references also help people to understand your nature, your character, how do you work with other people, whether you are a team player or not, where you will be more suited, what kind of role you will be more suited. So to check all those things, references and experiences are needed. A company can't judge your capability or ability just by your qualifications. Next question is from Mickey Kumar. He is asking, I am learning .NET Core for last 1 year. Now .NET 5 is going to be introduced. Can I use my .NET Core 3.1 knowledge in .NET 5, or will my .NET Core MVC application run on .NET 5? Mickey, to answer your question, yes, your .NET Core 3.1 knowledge will not go waste. It will be utilized in .NET 5 also, because concepts of all the .NET frameworks are same. Now about your .NET Core application running on .NET 5, no, your .NET Core application will not directly run on .NET 5. For that you will have to change the framework moniker of your project type in your .NET Core application. I will pretty soon make a video about this, that how you can convert your .NET Core 3.1 application in .NET 5. If you like or if you want to watch that video, then do subscribe to my channel and hit the comment that yes, I want that video where I can convert my .NET Core application to .NET 5. Next question is from Arya Kumar. He is asking, I am not able to cope up with my learning that is being provided by my company. Despite of giving much time and with mentors' guidance, still I am not able to cope up, which is leading to a frustration and much interest is not coming for the particular learning or work. So any tips for that? Arya, it seems more like a communication problem where you are not able to understand what your mentor or what your trainer is trying to explain you. So my suggestion for you would be to find a interesting way to learn that language. So there are many people who train you or who can explain the concepts in very interesting way. Probably you will have to search on internet about a trainer who can explain you a topic in the topic you want to learn in a better and interesting way. So my suggestion for you would be to find a trainer over the internet or any training platform in the language which you understand in better. Maybe if there is some problem with understanding English, or maybe you may learn better in your local language, so find out a trainer who can explain the topics in the way you can understand easily. Or even if you can't find the trainer, maybe the trainer who is training you in the company, ask him more and more questions until and unless he explains you in a simple and better way. So don't get shy in asking questions. That is my advice for you. Either ask as many questions as you want until and unless you understand the topic completely, or find a different trainer. That is the only way to go for. Next question is from Nikhil Soni. He is asking, can I become a full-time software engineer through teaching myself programming for 5 years? Nikhil, if you are talking about getting a job as a full-time software engineer just by teaching yourself or like self-learning programming in 5 years, then I'm sorry to say that you can't become that, at least in India. Because in India you require a degree or a certification apart from your experience to get a job. Even as a fresher you require a degree, or if you are showing yourself that I am an experienced professional, then you need to get the experience certificate from the companies in which you have worked earlier. So at least in India you can't get a full-time software engineer job just by teaching yourself. You need to get a degree or a certification. Next question is from Anushri. She is asking, is it advisable to resign from an IT job in an MNC during this COVID pandemic for a short break, say 3 months, due to personal reasons? What are the chances of securing a job in the next 6 months provided I keep myself updated on my technology? Anushri, I'm sorry to say, but no, it's not advisable to leave your job right now in current situations, because most of the companies are decreasing their bench strength and they have stopped hiring. And I don't think that situations are going to change or become better in next 6 months. So even if you keep yourself updated, your break will be kind of a negative point in your resume. So it is not advisable to resign from your job. My suggestion for you would be to take care of the personal reasons whatever you have via work from home. So if your company is providing work from home, then take care of those personal reasons while working from home. Or if you can't take care of that, then find a job which provides work from home and using which you can take care of those personal issues. Next question is from Saurav Mishra. He's asking, I want to know about freelancing. Can I be a freelancer? Saurav, yes, of course you can become a freelancer. But before becoming a freelancer, can you tell me what is your expertise? Are you a good designer? Are you a good developer? Are you good in SEO? So before becoming a freelancer, you need to find out what is your expertise. And you should have some samples to showcase that expertise. So if you are a developer, then you should have some open source applications to showcase, maybe a good GitHub profile with some good sample applications hosted somewhere to show. If you are a designer, you should have good design samples to showcase, maybe a Dribbble account to showcase your designs. If you are a good SEO, then some SEO data or some certification related to SEO, because I don't have much information that what are the requirements to becoming a good SEO. So whatever is your expertise, if you have something to showcase that expertise, then of course you can become a freelancer. You just require to sign up on a freelancing websites like Upwork or Freelancer or Guru.com, and then create your resume there and bid for the projects which are available there based on your expertise. So for becoming a freelancer, what you need is an expertise, a way to showcase your expertise, and a profile on a freelancer site to get bids or jobs. Next question is from Akash Kond. He is asking, what job profiles can a Microsoft Azure DP200 and 201 certification get me in 2020? For those who don't know, Azure certification DP200 and 201 is basically certification for becoming a Microsoft certified Azure Data Engineering Associate. Akash, by doing Azure DP200 and 201 certifications, you will get an understanding of how to implement Azure Data Solution and how to do engineering or solutioning Azure data solutions on Azure systems. Maybe it's how to manage large amount of data using different databases available on Azure systems. So you will get a job of a data engineer if you have done this certification. But my suggestion for you would be to use this certification as an upskill yourself. So if you are already working as a data engineer, then this certification will be helpful for you. But if you are a fresher and you are going to get this certification, then I don't think that this certification will be much helpful for you. My suggestion for you would be to go for a full-fledged ML or AI or data learning program or data science program. So do this certification only if you already are a data science expert, or if you are already a data science engineer and you want to get certified or you want to upskill yourself in Azure based technologies. Next question is from Uma Makesh V. He's asking, can I do a career transition into IT? I am 32 and working in BPO. I'm planning to switch to IT by getting certified in full stack web development. Is it a good move? Suggestions are welcome. Uma, why do you want to go for full stack web development role or full stack web developer job? Are you influenced by all those full stack web developer job roles or salaries or whatever are being shown in different advertisements for the different courses? Or do you really love programming and want to go into development as a career? So find out the why of your transition. Why do you want to transition from a BPO job to a full-time developer job? And then check that do you have those degrees which are required to become a developer? because I think anybody can become get a job in BPO. I might be wrong and I'm sorry for that, but I think even a commerce graduate can get a job in BPO if he has a good communication skills. So first check your degrees, check what you are good at, not just full stack development. Maybe you are good in number crunching, maybe you are good in mathematics, maybe you are good in databases. You can become a data engineer, you can become a database administrator. So find out your why, that why do you want to learn something, why do you want to transition your career, what are you looking for, and then probably transition. So once you have your why, then it will be easier for you to make a roadmap, and it will be easier for you to transition from one job to another. Without that, you will be just running behind money, or you will be just running behind different advertisement that okay, I should do this, I should do that, I should do this, etc, etc. Next question is from Rushika Kadam. She's asking, why do people hire skilled workers when it is possible to learn skills while working? Rushika, it's all boils down to money. It's true that every skill can be learned while working, but company don't want to spend money on training their people while they are working on something, because it will divert their focus and they won't be able to perform their jobs what they are doing properly. That's why companies suggest, or that's why companies give increments or motivations to people who prepare for certifications in their free time and do those certification on or learn a new skill during their free time while performing their job properly. So that's why they give admiration to those people. So yes, that can be done. However, whenever a new job is coming up or a new requirement comes for a company, the easiest method is to hire a skilled person, because he will be immediately able to work on that thing. But training a person on a new skill will require some time, and company might lose that business in that particular time period. So the main reason for hiring a skilled developer in a particular technology is to save money on training people. Next question is from Om Prakash Tiwari. He's asking, which is a better platform to learn web development, Coursera or Internshala? Both of these are two different kind of platforms. Coursera is a site where you do degree programs or certifications program from various institutes. So it's basically a learning platform. Whereas Internshala is a place where you get jobs as interns. So Internshala is kind of a job site for interns, whereas Coursera is basically a training site for anyone. It can be an experienced professional also, or it can be a fresher also. So there is no comparison between these two for learning web development. The main winner, of course, will always be Coursera, because it's a training site. Internshala is not a training site. Internshala is a job site. Next question is from Jay Sagar. He's asking, how do I find a freelance software developer for developing a complete auto backup application? Jay, you can hire me directly by sending me a DM. Okay, jokes aside, Jay, you can find freelancer on various freelancing platforms like Upwork, freelancer.com or guru.com. So these three are very popular freelancing platform where you can hire a freelancer. You can just go there, go as a employer, like register as an employer, post your job that okay, you want to create or develop an auto backup solution, and you can mention specifically there that you are not looking for an authority or a company, you are looking for freelancer only. So if you mention that, you can very easily get a freelancer there. Next question is from S. Nagaraju. He's asking, which course is better to learn and get a new job? Currently, I am working in manual testing with 8 years of experience. I don't want to continue manual testing. Nagaraju, in my opinion, the best course for you would be to learn automation testing or to learn about RPA, that is robotic process automation. So there are many courses available on either Coursera or Upgrade or any of the online training platform about RPA or about automation testing. So you can go for any kind of that certification course from these sites and get yourself upskilled in these technologies, either automation testing or RPA, because there you will be able to utilize your existing manual testing experience. So my suggestion for you once again would be to go for RPA or automation testing based courses. So these were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you want your questions to be featured in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, then DM me your questions on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So until my next video, take care. Bye bye.